I am so excited to welcome Miss Jess Moskaluke to Pure Country. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I am excited for many reasons to catch up with you. I feel like you've got a lot of stuff happening, but we've got to talk about 10 years of cheap wine and cigarettes. Like, holy moly, has that blown your mind that that was 10 years ago? Because I listen to it all the time still, and it feels still so new, but it really is such a like special song that's been a part of your world for a very long time.
Totally. It's the weirdest thing because some days I feel like I just came out onto the scene as a musician. And other days I'm like, wow, this song is about to turn a literal decade old. But I'm so obviously so thankful for it because it really does take a special song to stand the test of time like
Yeah.
this song has. And I don't know how it's kind of aged, pun not intended, but like a fine wine. Like people are still
Not a cheap
listening.
wine, a fine wine.
Fine wine. It got even better somehow. But yeah, it's crazy. It doesn't feel like 10 years ago.
That's so cool too, because I've talked to several artists about like that song for them. What song was that you feel like still, stands the test of time? You cannot play a show and not play it. And I feel like for you, it's not a song that you're like, oh, I have to play this every show. You look forward to it. You probably make sure it's in a very special spot in the show.
Yeah, and actually, to be totally honest, I really did think there was going to be a time where I didn't look forward to playing that
Yeah.
song. I never wanted to be like just the cheap wine and cigarettes girl. And that's always kind of a fear that people are going to never know any other songs, but they do. And they're just still just as excited for cheap wine. And I am too, because that excitement is so electric and contagious. So I get just as excited to play that song because of the fan reaction for it.
Yeah. And I think it's cool too because, 10 years ago, your Jess Moskaluke fans were falling in love with that song. Now, today, new fans of yours are getting to fall in love with that song for the first time, which is so crazy when new generations are becoming your fans that it really is getting to live a new life. And the fact that you're going to re-release it.
Yeah, that is so weird. I've had some people come up and say like, oh, my mom used to listen to this song, or, my
Yeah.
older sister, and you're like, what do you mean? I
Yeah.
do. But it's really cool. And yeah, we totally reworked it. My friend and yours, Dan Swinimer, actually took the stems, basically the vocal that I had put on the original Cheap Wine song, and built all new music around it.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it's complete. The goal with it was to be different. I
Right.
didn't necessarily need it to be like better or, you know, I just wanted it to be different
Yeah.
because I'm hearing it. And so it's a lot darker and like moodier, and
Ooh.
yeah, it's pretty cool. He really crushed it, and I'm really excited for people to hear the new version. It comes out March 15th.
So
Friday.
cool. Yeah. And I feel like some of course, the fans that have loved it for a long time are going to be like, wait, what if, like, don't change it. It's perfect just the way it is. But I think as an artist, that what a special opportunity that you have to go back and take a song that you love. You are at a different point in your life. You're at a different point in your career to get to go and say, like, this is my today version of cheap wine and cigarettes.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree. Like, there is nothing that's ever going to replace the original Cheap
Yeah.
Wine, and that's not the intent of this song. That's why I wanted it to be so drastically different.
Right.
Um, it's not going to replace it for me or anybody. So I think it's just different. And I don't even know if I were to totally release that song from scratch today, it probably would still be different than that. But I really love the marriage of like something new and something old, because it is the original vocal
Yeah.
from years ago. And I know that if I were to redo that vocal today, I'm sure it would sound a lot different.
Right. Yeah. It's so cool. That song, I would be very upset with you if I went to a show and you did not play it. It's because it's just one of those songs that it's just like, you've got to get to experience that at a Jess Moskaluke show. Is it fun? I've actually witnessed this because I've been standing side stage for some of your shows. And because this is a song that I've loved listening to with my girlfriends, like we're having a girls' night or whatever. but I love watching all the guys in the crowd singing Cheap Wine at the top of their lungs.
Me too. And you know, it's so cool. We've had so many of those moments, especially during the Map tour, like
Mhm.
years ago, I guess now, where there were like some groups of guys that got together just like we do with our girlfriends,
Yeah.
and they're like putting each other on their shoulders and cheersing and like rushing the stage and coming right up to the front. And I was like, this is the goal.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think that sometimes as female artists, we really want to create a lot of female empowerment, and I still do, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, we want to celebrate our girlfriends, and that's not to take anything away, but I'm like, why can't we have something that just everybody loves to listen
Yeah.
to? It's so universal, and you can try to create that, but you never really know when you're doing it. It just has to happen after. But you know, it's a really cool feeling, and
Oh, for
the
sure.
song is so special for a quadrillion different reasons.
I know. I'm so excited to hear the new version, and it is almost double platinum. Is that what I heard?
Yeah. Like what the heck? I
Crazy.
don't know. I never thought that song would do any of these things, like not
Right.
gold. That wasn't ever on my radar. I didn't even know that existed
Right.
at this, but let alone for it to go double platinum almost 10 years later is really
So
cool.
incredible.
Hopefully, but you know, won't hold my breath, but we're
That's
getting close.
awesome. So cool. And I'm so excited. I love the new music that you've put out recently, Heartbreaker EP. Go Getter. The video for that is amazing. I feel like that had to be a dream to get to do that video. It felt like just like a massive dress up, like go back in time and just literally play dress up.
Yeah, it's so funny because so this was the first time we had worked with this crew. We shot the
Okay.
video in Montreal, and they're a wonderful, wonderful crew. But they speak mostly French. They're definitely their English is great, and that was fine. But I think I had misunderstood how many outfits they needed. I'm very type A, and I always bring backups for everything. We used every single one of those backup outfits because I didn't know how many like I was like, okay, great, there's 3 or 4 outfits. That's about standard. It was like 6 or 7 outfits, and then I literally ended up using the lead actor's outfits at one point, which
Oh
was
my gosh.
such a part of the storyline, but I'm like, I wore everything in my suitcase.
That's hilarious. Was it one of the more fun videos to get to do? Because it looked like it was.
It was, and it was actually probably one of the most collaborative videos I feel like I've done. All of my videos are collaborative in the sense that the director and I work together really closely to make sure that the vision is what we both agree with. But on set, it felt so collaborative. The lead actor, Fred, kind of had the idea. He's like, wait, that eyeshadow you're wearing is really cool. He's like, I know we're trying to flip the traditional gender roles on their head. He's like, what if it was a little bit more Freaky Friday and all of a sudden I wake up and I'm wearing that eyeshadow and you're wearing my shirt? And I was like, wow, that is very cool. And we kind of changed a lot of the plan based on that. And
Oh, wow. Like on set while shooting.
yeah, I've never had that happen
That's
quite
cool.
that way before, but it was really fun. And I think that just added an element of excitement to everybody on set. It was just something really organic that happened in the moment.
Super cool. And you were just in Nashville. I know you just mentioned that before we jumped on here, and then you're coming back, which I know means that there's new music in the works. Have you written a song during these last writing trips that you're like, okay, this feels special?
So many.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. Like I've been writing for so long and I've always enjoyed it, but for some reason something was different on this last trip. I don't know what it was. But I got some, like definitely 2, maybe 3 off the top of my head that I'm like, whoa, this is so different and not something I felt like I could ever do. And it feels
Okay.
so right. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna maybe just tease some of them, like just the demos, because
Yeah.
we're not in the studio or anything yet. But I think I'll probably put some of those up on like TikTok and Reels and stuff.
Okay. I will
Feels-
definitely be watching. I will be waiting.
Before we jumped on, I just put one on TikTok. So
Oh, you did? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as we're done, I'm gonna go listen to that. So you're coming to Boots and Hearts this year, which I'm so excited. You're coming back. I have to ask, because you were on definitely a day that all the days are incredible, but I'm excited. The Friday, once you're done on stage, you'll have a chance to go see like Chase Beckham, Megan Maroney, Brothers Osborne, Cody Johnson. Who as a fan are you most looking forward to just like getting out of your show clothes, grabbing a drink and going to watch their show?
Really excited for Megan Maroney. I've never seen her live and have really wanted to. Same with the Brothers Osborne, massive fan. But ironically, my husband and I had tickets to Cody Johnson this summer when he comes to Saskatoon, and I had to give away my tickets because I got booked for a show that day. So I am really excited to see Cody Johnson. I mean, Clay won't be there with me, but
I was like, Clay, come on, you gotta get him out there somehow.
yeah, I know. I think he's still gonna go. I think
He's going without you.
go and ditch my show, and I have to ditch the Cody Johnson for mine.
That's hilarious. That's so awesome though. Yeah, Cody Johnson, you cannot go wrong with that. It's going to be such an incredible weekend. I'm so excited to get to see you back there. What are you most excited for this year that you kind of have on the books that you're most looking forward to?
There's one thing, actually, the thing that I had to cancel the Cody Johnson show for, we haven't announced it yet, but that one's a really big one for me. But also, not just because we were talking about it, but Boots and Hearts, kind of to make this conversation full circle. One of my favorite memories of Cheap Wine and Cigarettes was playing it at Boots and Hearts for the first time. And it's been quite a few years since I've had the opportunity to come back between COVID and just playing other shows. And I remember playing, it was that, I'm not sure what it's called now. I think it was
Front porch stage.
Okay, yeah, the front porch stage. I was headlining that stage that night, and we got rained out, like crazy flash floods. It was not safe for people to be in the tent. They cleared the tent. They like physically hauled me off stage, and we hadn't played Cheap Wine yet. And that was our current single at the time. And I remember for the first time in my life, hearing people from like kind of outside the tent starting to chant cheap wine, and I couldn't believe it. And the rain had subsided just enough for the stage manager rather, to let us go back and play one more song. So we played Cheap Wine, and it was the craziest. I will never forget that. So I think that I'm really excited to get back to Boots on the 10-year anniversary of Cheap Wine too. It's just the coolest full circle moment.
Oh, for sure. I cannot wait to be there to watch it. If you don't have your tickets to go see everyone, but especially Jess Moskaluke at Boots and Hearts, make sure you get them. And I'm hoping we get to hear some more new music soon. But if you guys haven't watched Go Get Her, the music video, go get yourself in front of a screen and watch it. Last thing before we go, Jess, because I feel like this is something I'd be interested to see happen for you. If there was like a brand of something or a business venture outside of music that you would love to start up, like I see everyone, creating their own alcohol or their own perfume or whatever, what would be yours that you would love to create?
You know what? That's a good question, because I feel like I've kind of done collabs with so many like clothing companies, makeup, like jewelry, all that, eyewear I've even done. You mentioned it, but I haven't done an alcohol collab yet. And I really think that I would be super interested in doing that.
I mean, maybe cheap wine?
No, it would have to be more expensive.
But like, I know, but like we could be like, this is the fine wine that goes with the song while you listen to it.
This is the 10-year aged cheap wine.
There you go. Well, you better get on it since we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary this year. That would be cool though. I would definitely drink some Jess Moskaluke wine.
I'll have you taste test it. You can give it the final score.
I'm in. Awesome. Well, so good to catch up with you, girl. Jess Moskaluke, thanks for joining us on Pure Country.